Hey ladies and gentlemen, this is the Real World Prepper. Thank you for joining me today on my channel on this episode. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe and share and all that good stuff if you like what you see here or any of the stuff you've seen on my channel or will see. Thank you for all you guys that have already done so. A subscriber sent me a letter. And it's a one-page letter, typed up very anonymously. I'm gonna, I know who it is, but I'm gonna not say who it is. I think because this is how this subscriber would have wanted it. At any rate, it's about a topic that I have touched on before, more than once, but it's one that many people have touched on, and there are no hard ways to accomplish the task set forth that is needed really now and certainly in a post SHTF scenario, be it whatever it is, with or without power, etc. These things will make a difference with or without power. But anyway, let me just jump right into it. First, let me kind of protect parts of it. I want you to see how this sub put the stamp on there, right? By the way, there is my P.O. Box address. This is how this subscriber got this letter to me. I just thought the envelope was cool. The stamp, I don't know. I say cool. It speaks volumes the way this subscriber did this. So listen. The subscriber goes on to say it's an untitled letter. Untitled. Dear RWP, in answer to your question, I had posed a question. In answer to your question, I would say that you and others like you are already bringing people together. Channels like yours have the ability of informing the need for people to get involved in their communities with like-minded people to build tribes, mutual assistance groups, etc. There needs to be a measure of readiness in their purposes. Training will be required to ensure that people are ready to go to work when the need arises. If, for example, a hurricane hits, as in the case of Katrina, groups would need carriers to relay vital information to the rescuers so that they don't also become victims. Great ideas. This is common sense stuff. I'm sure you guys recognize this, but stay with me. A rally roster will be needed to sound the alarm of an emergency. A rally roster will be needed to sound the alarm of an emergency situation that requires immediate attention. Knowing that the media is no longer reliable, the internet is currently the preferred method that most people will use to communicate. If there's an internet shutdown, many will be cut off of their main information hub. True. We all know this. Communications are going to be the most sought out resource. I agree with that. Along with communication is information, and so that's what we're going to have. Again, we've talked about this. This is no-brainer stuff, but hear me out. Stick with me. I've got a point here, and I'm hoping you guys will pick up on it. And I'm going to call you guys to help me with this and to help all of us with this. Anyway, so we're going to need alternative forms of communicating across great distances. We may need to take a look back at history for guidance. Ham radio would be nice, but many states are starting to many states are starting to remove their repeater antennas, causing operators to shut down. Information from across the nation will be harder and will take longer to receive. Some ideas could be drones, but these have their reliability issues. Truckers would be a good source of information. So think about this: if in a situation where the system's still up and running, however, it's so corrupt and so controlled that commerce is still taking place to some degree. At least supplies are getting moved around, whether or not we have access to internet or phones or etc. But anyway, truckers would be a good source of information. CB radios could be useful. They could even pass, truckers and trucks could even pass predetermined information by placing a sticker or graffiti on their trailers so that they never have to stop. Therefore, I'm thinking what this sub is saying is that if you know what a certain symbol or something, image, something means, or a set of letters or numbers, if you know what that means, if everybody is on the same page and understands what that means, you know, you watch for a truck coming down the highway, you know, and when you see it, you see what you see, and you understand that that either means a time, place, event, whatever. So anyway, by placing sticker or graffiti on their trailers, and they'll have to stop. This would notify people at great distances. We could use carrier pigeons and dogs for short distances. Neighbors could flash a laser into the window of other neighbors, specific colors, having a predetermined message. A lamp in a window, or two for the same thing. As in the Bible, 2 or 3 witnesses would be appropriate, meaning, you know, if a signal is being passed and it's witnessed 2 or 3 times, you know, or more, meaning it's been repeated, it's been acknowledged, that kind of thing, so that everybody kind of has a good idea they're on the same page, that this is the signal we're getting and the message that we're getting. So anyway, as in the Bible, 2 or 3 witnesses would be appropriate. Redundancy is key to preventing mixed signals from causing a false alarm. To sum it up, the idea of organization begins with communication. Like I said, the people are already willing to get organized. The people are already willing to get organized, but the organization will begin with communication. We just need to know where to go, the people. So, this is a... Look, this is just, I'm throwing this out here. What I'd like for you guys to do, you guys have probably all seen these. This is a Army surplus find, simple little flashlight. This is not even a real one, you know, military issue or whatever, but you get it. All right, so, you know, this one's got your green. Of course, it's got your clear. It's got your blue. I don't know how well it's going to come out in the camera. Okay, sorry about that. My SD card was full, actually. I haven't deleted things in a long time. So as I was saying, cheap flashlight, but you get the idea. This or laser pointers or anything like it is just one idea. What I want to talk about is you guys sharing your ideas with me, okay? This one's green. You got your clear. This one's blue. This one's yellow. And this one is red. Okay, of course you can unscrew this and put them in there, and there's lots of different ways to do this. I would like to know you guys' thoughts. I would prefer that if you have any real thoughts and real information, when I say real, there's a lot of suggestions that I'd love to hear, okay? Throw them in the comments, all that kind of stuff, whatever you want to do. But if there's any real things, if there are established forms that I just don't know about, let me know what your thoughts are. I'd like to know your thoughts. Send those thoughts, please, to Real World Prepper, P.O. Box 843, Collierville, Tennessee 38027. And I will return in kind the same way. Give me a return address, or if you're okay with, well, no, I'd rather this be written, okay? For the same reason that this subscriber made point that he would rather share any thoughts on this for his own reasons by snail mail, I kind of want to talk about the same thing, because, you know, everything's being monitored. I'm not a fool to think that even our mail may not be monitored, but nonetheless, I'd like to hear some really realistic and solid thoughts. I'd like to know what you guys are thinking, what you're doing, if anything, and maybe we can somehow come up with a system, we'll call it an emergency broadcast system for just citizens of the United States, right? Because we're not trying to do anything nefarious other than to be able to communicate if there is no other way to communicate. Our internet, our telephone, our you know, any methods, for that matter, you know, USPS. So if you guys are interested, please do that. I'd like to know your thoughts, and if we get enough response, we'll put together these thoughts, and depending on what they are and specifics and all that, we'll share. I'll do a video on it, and because I'd like for as many people to kind of have an idea, a general idea of the same sort of thing, you know, a similar thought. And this may be something that just be limited to local groups, but it seems like there ought to be at least some universals, like your SOS and things of that nature, that go across the board. So anyway, let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. This is Real World Prepper. P.O. Box is Real World Prepper, P.O. Box 843, Collierville, Tennessee 38027. You can email me at theworldcanspeak, that is TheWorld CANSP, just like it sounds, The World Can Speak, at AOL.com. Yes, it's an AOL account. It's old. I'm also over on Patreon. Love for you to come support me there. All this information is in my About section. You can click that link to Patreon, $1, or pledge more if you like, but the minimum is $1. All this content is over there if they ever want to shut this channel down. Plus, it's a way to support me if you want to. Just throwing that out there. But otherwise, thanks for being here. Sub if you're not. Like this and share this. And let's talk about this. Let's get a real conversation going and see what we can come up with. See if we can have at least some generalized, if not very specific ways of doing this. I'm very interested in hearing your thoughts and sharing some of mine. Preferred method would be USPS at this point, if you don't mind. However, you know, if you want to leave comments or even send me emails, that's fine. You know, I'll respond accordingly, okay, or not. So anyway, thanks so much. We'll see you next time. Real World Prepper out.